Hello and welcome and happy homecoming, everybody. We are live here at the Winkin Sports Complex between the matchup, the 3-2 Bison of Nichols, the 3-2 Eagles of Husson University. Hello, everybody. I'm Sam Miller, joined alongside Max Sturm. Max, these two teams very even so far on the stat sheet this year. Historically, Husson is 4-0 all-time against Nichols. They've won 61-31 last time they played on November on the road, so we're in for a very good matchup today.
It's going to be an incredible matchup. We got two teams coming in at 3-2. The Bison's last game is a tough loss to Gallaudet University, and the Eagles they went down and got a shutout win, 24-0 at Dean College. These are both very high-powered offensive teams, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes down today, Sam.
All righty, we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Owen Snow, for some more information. Owen, what do you got for us?
So both teams going in kind of opposite directions. You know, Nichols College coming off a loss, but Husson coming off a win. Obviously, Husson's had the matchup here against them, going 4-0 and having a dominating win last time they played each other. Look for a high-powered offensive game. You know, Husson's got some weapons and Nichols College got some weapons, and it's going to be an exciting matchup today. And back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Owen. As we mentioned, two high-powered Hawktain offenses for both these teams, and it starts and ends with their junior quarterbacks. We're going to be looking forward to the showdown between junior quarterbacks Max Clark and Owen Snow for both teams.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and start with the Bison's Owen Snow. He has had quite the start to this season through 5 games, has 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, and has thrown no picks. A 65% completion percentage to go on top of that. He's been very accurate. The Eagles QB, Max Clark, comes in with almost 1,000 yards, sitting at 907, has thrown 9 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and has a 57% completion percentage. So it'll be interesting to see today if they decide to throw the ball or hand it off to their star running back.
Both these teams very good at what they do. They can really hold it down on both ends of the field. Very versatile, have plenty of weapons to spare. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
We honor America with the performing of our
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
I chose to go to Husson because of the extended reality program. They have tech here available that I've never seen anywhere else.
As an OT, you're able to branch off into whatever career choice you want because there are so many options.
This is a place where you will be accepted. It really is that home away from home feeling.
Husson is how.
And we're back in action here, set, ready for kickoff here at the Winkin. Max, you can feel the energy in the stadium right now. It is electric.
There is nothing like a homecoming game as we get underway here. Just the energy from this crowd already is super intense, and it's going to be an exciting game.
And the return by Nichols just shy of the 26, 27-yard line. Wrangled down, that's what will take place. And here comes the Nichols offense, led by, as we talked about during pregame, Owen Snow, who's having himself a phenomenal year for the Bills. Has 11 TDs in the air, has 3 TDs on the ground. He's really versatile in this Conference of New England.
And he has had quite the start, as we talked about in the pregame, Sam. 1,210 yards and has not thrown a pick yet. He has been very smart in the pocket, and he's able to dump it off to a lot of guys on his team, spread the ball around, and that's how this team operates. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Moja headed up, fake pass right across the middle, and it's caught! Wrangled in by Josh Vitti for the Nichols. A big chunky yardage right there. And the Nichols, who we've talked about in pregame, they really favor that pass game a lot opposed to that running game. They're very versatile on both ends, but passing is really their bread and butter, Max.
And that was a great job drawing that play up by the Nichols Bisons. Josh Vitti just runs a simple slant route right there because the cornerback dropped back into deeper coverage, left a lot of room.
Hand up to Janabas right up the middle. Just a few short yards on the play. That big defensive line of the Eagles really getting involved right there. Combining for the tackle was Bryce Bissell.
And Sam, for a team that is so pass heavy, it is also important to establish the run. So if you can get Janabas started very early, you can kind of start to throw in that play action where you fake the ball or fake the handoff, and some defenders will come close in, and that'll leave some of the wide receivers and tight ends wide open.
Snow hands up to Janabas once again. Has a few bloggers right in front of him, and he's going to get wrestled down on the play. That right there was Ricky Hendricks exploding into the backfield and putting a stop to that gain.
Hendricks, the senior, coming in, has 27 tackles on the season. That puts him solely in second place on the team now. Does a great job not falling for the reverse there. Able to make that tackle in the open field, something that's really hard against Janabas.
Nichols now 3rd and 5 on the 46-yard line. You can hear the Eagles nest here getting rowdy just as this game started, as we expected.
And look at this, Sam. They're stacking the line here. You can expect a blitz. Now the linebacker's going to drop back.
Pressure's coming. Snow up in the pocket. Connects right over the middle. And just short of some first down yardage there. That was Morvan on the play, on the receive. Just a quick 2-yard pickup right there. Not enough for the first down.
And it looks like they're going to go for it, but what a job by Tyler Armin to get through that pick play almost in the middle of the field. And again, an open field tackle, which is so hard to make, especially against some of these speedy wide receivers, Sam.
Nichols staying on the field. They're going to go for it on 4th and 3 here. Armin, as we mentioned, getting the starting spot over Kane Smith, usually that area. Janabas up the middle, and that way nowhere to go as the Eagles stack him up and take over.
And when you stuff the line like that, it's so much easier to fill in those gaps. They just push the gap right there and allow 0 yards. Husson will take over. A great defensive stand on this first possession.
A big-time play there by Ethan Turgeon, coming right in and putting an end to that Nichols drive. And the Eagles now with a chance to take over here on the 46-yard line. And on coming to the field is quarterback Max Clark, as we talked about in pregame, having himself a phenomenal year. Can really do it all on the ground and in the air as well. Over 900 passing yards. Has having himself a very, very good campaign.
Sam, be on the lookout for Jeb Lober here. They'll pass on the first play, though.
As that one nearly picked off by the defense.
And that's something we need to watch out for. Again, through 5 games, Clark has 5 interceptions. They really need to establish that run game with Lober, I think, if you want to open up the pass game. The Nichols defense and this Bison's team are pretty good in pass coverage.
Well, think about the Bisons, that they are very, very athletic up front, have a lot of size, very quick and very explosive off the ball, as we saw right there. So Clark gets the snap, hands off to Lober. Lober exploits the hole, gets a big hit stick on the play, and trucks forward for some decent yardage.
And Lober brings the boom like the Costco guys right there, trucks a defender. My goodness, what a run. You know, only 6 yards on that one right there, but That is a huge difference to be from second and long, or third and long, and third and short. Right here, we got about 4 yards they got to make up. You wonder if they'll go pass or run here, Sam.
Lober having himself a very good campaign, 6 TDs on the year. As Matt Clark hands it up to Hunter. Hunter looks like he'll get just enough for the first down on the play. As it looks like the officials are going to talk it over to mark the placement of Hunter's carry there.
We'll have to see where this ball is spotted. It's going to be very, very close. I would not be surprised if they don't, or if they bring the chains out here to measure, and I think they will.
Looking like it right there. A big play from LeVar Hunter, who had himself a very good game last time out.
I think getting Hunter involved is also a huge part of this game, Sam. If you have Lober in, you're going to expect them to run with the season that he's had so far. But if you can get Hunter involved, they really don't know how to play both running backs yet, and you can kind of have more play disguise in the backfield.
Looks like they're going to mark the ball just short. We have 4th and 1 incoming for the Eagles. Looks like the officials are still talking it over to
They are still talking it over, Sam, and I don't think that play marker was lined up entirely where the ball is.
Officials timeout for a measurement.
They are going to take a timeout here to figure it out. It is awfully close, Sam.
This could be a very big call early on, and the Eagles, with a lot of momentum coming off that sack of the Nichols, really getting the momentum in their first drive, could be the be-all end-all for this game. In a game like this, every single possession matters, no matter if it's homecoming or anything like that.
And they're gonna say it looks like it might be a little bit short. Still haven't extended the chains yet, so it's too hard to tell, but now
game clock operator, please reset.
They will say it is 4th down still, Sam. 1 play right here to get it.
Just a milligram short for the Eagles. But just like Nichols, looks like Clark and the offense are going to go for it here. Let's see what they have with their bag of tricks.
I think you got to hand it off to Lober here and trust him to get those yards. Defense not stacking the line. Now they will.
As Clark hands it off to Lober. Lober exploits the hole and gets it up this time for the first down for the Eagles.
And what a great job. He saw those linebackers come into those gaps in the middle, and so he just, okay, I'll bounce it outside. Takes it out to the left and finds the open space. And the corner is the one who has to bring him down, and that allows for that first down, and this offensive drive continues.
Hayden Fielder and Ryan Sherliff on that left-hand side for the Eagles on the line. Opened up a big hole for Lober and extends this drive once again for the Eagles. Clark hands off to Lober once again, sees the hole and gets away from some defenders. And finally brought down to the 30-yard line. Once again, Jed Lober rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling, and just continuing his big-time drive here.
Lober came into today with 424 yards on the ground, and it's easy to see why. Through 5 games, he's been able to find that open space, and it's really hard to bring him down. He's a bigger running back, 210 pounds, 5'11". That is really tough to bring down, especially in the open field. You saw it took 2 people to bring him down, and he had already broken.
Clark, that's back to pass. Tried to find Casey, cutting over the middle there, nearly intercepted on the play by Nichols. They'll set up 2nd down.
And the ball was just a little bit inaccurately thrown there. Casey had to try and extend to get it in turn, popped it up in the air for a chance as a defender to make a play.
That was broken up by Bryce Prince out of Stamford, Connecticut, having himself a very good campaign, 30 tackles on the year for Nichols. And the Eagles will reset. Clark, Hunter up the middle, finds the hole and gets some decent yardage once again. The big hole up the middle, this Husson offensive line is really putting in the work right now, Max.
The offensive line has certainly established themselves, and I believe that to be the key to this game. I think it's going to be really hard to beat the Bisons in this passing game. You certainly want to try and open it up with these runs, which they're doing, but if the offensive line can allow for these big run plays to happen, the Eagles are going to be able to keep up.
3rd and 2 in the 22, on the 22 now for the Eagles. And Hunter gets away, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone for the Eagles touchdown.
And the Eagles start homecoming off with a great outside run from Hunter.
A big time play there for the Eagles. Once again, that left-hand side of Sherliff and Fielder opening up the gaps. and LeVar Hunter exploded through, and the Eagles have an early lead.
And here's the replay, Sam. You're gonna see just an easy handoff, almost a reverse, comes back, cuts outside. That little reverse through the defenders one way to the right, and a quick stutter move from Hunter opens it up, and he runs to the house.
If you're Coach Clark, you could not be any happier with the start that the Eagles are having right now. As Markovich has not missed a PAT all year, and it stays that way as the Eagles take a quick 7-0 lead here in this first quarter.
Just a great job there by that Eagles offense, getting stopped on 3rd and short, being able to have the guts to kind of go for it, not punt the ball away. You kind of put them in really good field position if you don't get that, but they trust their guys in the backfield to get those yards, and ultimately it works out for them.
Eagles very quickly building some momentum here to set out this first quarter. Let's see how Nichols responds here. Of course, if there's any team that can respond after a quick little score like that, it's definitely Nichols.
And I think you're gonna see the Bisons come out a little bit stronger in the passing game. They had 3 runs on the last possession, but they know that they've got some speedy wide receivers out there. They're gonna try and utilize that and throw this Eagles defense off.
Don't be surprised if they look to number 84, Quentin Corin back coming into the game, having himself a very, very good year. Him and number 83, Jack Morvan, a very good dynamic duo in that that Nichols lineup for offense.
Don't forget Josh VD2 has been pretty good this year, 14 catches, 300 yards through 5 games.
Markovich boosts that one away. Gonna go right into the hands of Cornbach right here. Taking up the sideline. Keeps the legs moving and eventually brought down near the 30-yard line.
And Cornbach has had himself quite the year as a returner. On 16 attempts, he has 369 yards and a touchdown. That's just an incredible number to put up through 5 games as a returner. That's more yards than he has receiving, Sam.
Harris on the tackle for the Eagles. We got a flag on the play. Might have been some extracurricular activity going on after Cornbach was brought down.
After the play was
I think that's just this.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Nichols, number 7.
And it will be
15-yard penalty.
on Nate
First
Campos
down.
for the unsportsmanlike conduct.
This is number 7. First unsportsmanlike conduct foul toward ejection.
So he has been given his warning towards the ejection, and this game already getting choppy, Sam.
Correction.
Absolutely. In an environment like this, if you're Nichols, you're coming into a very, very rowdy Eagles crowd, homecoming weekend. Everybody's high energy, high octane, just like these two teams. So, of course, in any environment, anybody would get a little bit flustered here. But that penalty by Campos allows a little bit better starting position for Nichols here, as Snow will take over once again.
And that's actually going to be Miles Harris. They called it on the Eagles here. That moves the ball up to the 45. For this high-powered offense, you don't want to give them those extra yards.
Goes in motion. Snow looks to pass, has a man downfield, and it's caught! That one brought in by Morvan. A big play right there for the receiver. And Nichols will take over once again.
And again, just an easy corner route makes the move because these DBs are playing far back. You've got them playing real deep coverage, allowing them to get those yards. If you're the Eagles, Sam, you kind of got to change your defense up a little bit with a team that's going to pass more, maybe a little bit more man-on-man, or fill in those seams a little bit better with some corners.
Seen very early on, the tight end Topher Ryan likes to go in motion. Will stay right in his place as Snow kicks it right back out to Denabis. He's going to get brought down on the play. Maybe a gain of 2. A few Eagles combining for those plays right there.
He does a good job not allowing that loss right there. Was able to bounce outside of that diving tackle attempt from the Eagles and avoids a 2-yard, 3-yard loss, turns it into a 2-yard gain.
Nicely, and Bannister combining on the tackle right there. Those two in particular have been extremely productive for the Eagles this year, have kind of been the backbone for this Eagles defense. So expect them to get very involved as this game progresses.
Got 3 wide receivers out to the left. We'll see if they throw here.
There's no raid left to play in this first quarter. Snow out to Ryan. That one's completed. Ryan turned it up the sideline. He's going to get trucked out of bounds.
And the Bisons here just doing a great job of opening up the field. They're running the ball, so it's opening up play action. Had a fake right there, and it leaves the left side of the field wide open. There was 3 wide receivers out there. They both cut inside on slant routes, and it left the receiver wide open for the Bisons. You'll see the replay here. No one within 15 feet of him until he was past the stick, Sam.
Forced out of bounds by Ricky Hendricks. This one out the sideline. And he's going to get away from a tackle here. Makes the defender miss. And finally brought down by a swarm of Eagles defenders. That was number 8, Josh Vitti on the play. Vitti picks up a big gain for the Bison.
Jonabis gets the screen pass and just follows his blocks. That's all you got to do on a screen route. And then once he's down past those blocks, does a great job adjusting, making some moves to get past defenders. Again, breaking those open field tackles. Both teams have running backs that are very good at that.
Absolutely. And we talked about how Nichols is going to respond after that swarm, that flurry by the Eagles on offense. They've done just that on this drive. And notice how they just really like to keep the plays moving. No huddle offense here for Nichols. I think we'll be seeing a lot of that throughout this game. Jonabis goes in motion. He's going to get the pitch from Snow. And brought down by the defense right there. Maybe a pickup of 3-4 on the play. They'll set up second down.
And I think the Eagles and the fans here at Husson University a little bit upset. It appeared that play clock had ran down and it was a delay of game. No call though. It'll be second down and about 5.
Yeah, it looked like the Eagles on the sideline, they thought that Clark took a little bit too much time there on the play. Nonetheless, 2nd and 4 now. Here's the motion man. They cut around the sideline here, and he's in for the touchdown. Josh Vitti with the end-around play there for Nichols. And the Bison quickly respond after that flurry from the Eagles.
And that was a great job by Vitti. He lines up outside and just cuts across the quarterback, a little toss. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether you're going to run or throw there, but he tosses it out, follows his blocks, is able to make his way into the end zone. We got a tie game here, Sam.
That left-hand side once again for Nichols. It was Bailey Hooper and Mike Perlich leading the way for Vitti to get into the end zone. It's going to be, one is on the kick, and that one pure as pie on the play. And we are tied here at the Winkin Complex, just under 6 minutes to play. This is the kind of thing you expected from both teams. Really going to get things done on offense. Fast-paced action, high octane, and we're going to see a lot more of that as this game progresses.
We mentioned how well these teams have been doing on offense, both extremely high-powered, both in the run and the pass game, and you're seeing it play out here. The Eagles are kind of struggling passing the ball right now, but the Bisons are doing a little bit of both passing and running, and it's opening up a lot of opportunities for them.
Now, if you're the Eagles, Max, after that drive by Nichols, what are some things you might want to do differently so you get some momentum back on your side?
I think if you're the Eagles, you got to keep pounding the rock. The offensive line has done a great job setting this team up to get the extra yards after contact. And I think you can trust Lober and Hunter to get those yards. I think you're really only going to pass, Sam, if you see something in the defense that looks like the pass would be open, or if it's 3rd and long.
As Nichols looks to punt it away here, they've got Bert the let back there to receive. He's had himself a very good year on the receiving end. Hopefully feels at 12. Here comes Bert, the speed up the middle, and brought down a big gain of 30 on the play for Berthollet. Gives the Eagles very good starting position here.
And that's an amazing job by Berthollet. We're going to start at the 40-yard line now, the Eagles will, which getting that field position, Sam, is oh so important. And you got to think they're going to go back to their 2 running backs on this possession, who have had themselves great games so far.
Hunter and Lober having themselves, as we mentioned, very, very strong campaigns for the Eagles. Really just, they have the old school ground and pound kind of run game that you love to see out of a running back. See if they can get involved here. Hunter gets the handoff from Clark. He splits it right up the middle. makes a few defenders miss, and he's brought down by a swarm of Nichols defenders. LeVar Hunter exploits the hole in the defense and picks up a big game for the Eagles.
And Hunter came into this game with just about 200 yards, and they've used him a lot in this offense so far. Again, another reverse. Able to throw that defense off. The offensive line plays well. 23-yard gain for the Eagles.
A big time play for LeVar Hunter as we have an injury timeout on the field. For Nichols, that's number 2, Marsha Young. The safety for Nichols looks like he took a big hit on the play. Being attended to. All right. As they're checking on him, we will be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. And we're back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Young back on his 2 feet, under his own power. Left leg goes in motion for the Eagles. Lober back in the backfield with Clark. Takes the handoff at the left-hand side. Blows it right up the middle again and wrestled down near the 27-yard line. These running backs for the Eagles are really just putting a dent in this Nichols defense.
The Eagles are exploiting that Bison's defensive line, whether it's with reverse plays or just running the rock straight at them. Especially there with number 38, Jed Lober. He's just a power back. He's going to be able to break that initial contact. He does a great job there. He and Hunter having themselves very good games so far in this first quarter.
Casey in motion. Lober once again exploits the hole on the left-hand side. It's a quick, looks like maybe 4 yards on the play. He'll get brought down on the play by Patrick Henry for Nichols. Sets up 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. And notice it looks like Coach Clark's going with a your turn, my turn kind of set here between Lober and Hunter, just really utilizing both those backs to their full potential. Clark gets the snap, hands off to Hunter outside. That time, not too much room there. Wrestled down on the play by Patrick Henry, and 44 Evan Roy on the play. Sits up 3rd and 5.
Roy able to blow up that play. I talked about how this defensive line really hasn't been able to stop the run so far. This time they're able to break that offensive line's protection and get there for a minimal gain, and a big 3rd down coming up, Sam.
A very big 3rd down indeed. Clark lines up in the backfield, drops back to pass, finds Casey. That one caught over the left-hand side, chucks it up the sideline, and looks like he's going to get brought down on the play by Nichols.
I believe, Sam, they got the 1st down. It's going to be close again, but they will move the chains forward, and that's what I'm talking about, Sam. They use the run game, and then when they need to pass, they throw a little screen like that, and it works. Eagles 1st and 10, getting close to the goal line.
You love seeing the Eagles just pulling plays out of their bag of tricks here. Clark hands off to Hunter once again. That time, nowhere to go. Exploding through the defense is number 3, Patrick Henry. Just came off that right-hand side and just exploded through the offensive line.
Henry, the defensive end, sophomore. I can't describe it any better than you did, Sam. Just breaks contain there, sets the edge, and is able to get into the backfield. He's had a lot of tackles this year, 32 on the season, and a sack. He's going to be an impact player for this defense today.
That play by Henry results in a loss of 4 on the play. His leg goes in motion. Clark, back to pass. Has a man over the middle. That time, wrangled in. Looks like that was hauled in on the play by the Eagles.
It'll be interesting to see whether they're going to call it a complete pass. I think they will. Might have called the play dead. Ball came out after, but he had already touched the turf. So now it's 3rd and long. And Sam, I think you've got to do your best to get the ball into the end zone here. You might want to pass if you're the Eagles offense.
That play by Holmes sets up 3rd and 10, getting those yardage back by the play from Henry. See what they have here. Clark fakes the handoff. What's the pass across the middle? He's got Casey, and he's going to get into the end zone. Forward Eagles touchdown. Casey with the beautiful route across the middle, and the Eagles regain their lead.
The Eagles used motion and found out that the Bisons were running a man-on-man defense. So all they did was cut Casey across the middle, deliver him the ball on point, and he did the rest of the work getting into the end zone. Another great drive by the Eagles. A huge play on 3rd and 10, and they take a 13-7 lead.
That's touchdown number 2 for Colin Casey, the senior out of Elliott, Maine, having himself a very good year. It's proven to be a vital part of the drum that beats for this Eagles offense. As Markovich once again, that one to go.
It was a weird angle. It looked like that one cut in front of the post, but he knocks it through. Still perfect on the season.
Markovich, that makes him 20 for 20 for extra points this season. He's been having a phenomenal year for the Eagles. It just seems like whenever they score, he's automatic right there for the Eagles. Now, if you're Nichols, Max, after that big play from Casey, might take some of the wind out of your sails. How do you respond to a play like that?
I mean, their last drive, Sam, the Bisons did a great job spreading the ball around, but they were passing through the air. There wasn't a lot of running plays. They realized what kind of defense the Eagles were running and exploited it. And I think they're going to go back to that again. They might incorporate the run here and there so that they can have those play-action plays and throw the defense off. But I think the game plan for them is very similar to what they had in that last possession.
One thing we might see as well is Owen Snow. He's done a lot of just fake runs up the middle and pitching it off and a lot of passing. We might see him get involved more on the ground. Said he's got 3 touchdowns on his feet this year, so we'll see what happens here. As Kornbach gets the kick from Markovich right there. There's a block right around the side. That time wrestled down just past the 30-yard line.
It's always scary when Kornbach gets that kick delivered to him. I'm surprised they're not trying to aim the other direction towards the other returning back. Just how good Kornbach's been from the return spot this year.
He was brought down by freshman Braden Trombley, having himself a very good year just last week. Named the CNE Rookie of the Week. Had himself a big-time game in their last matchup. And now Nichols will take over once again near the 30-yard line. And we'll see what Snow and Nichols can do here. Snow in the backfield, drops back to pass, looking for a man downfield. He was looking for Kornbach, just a bit too strong on that one. Sets up 2nd down.
And there was definitely a miscommunication there. It looked like Kornbach might have had a step on the defensive back there, but he cuts inside on a return route, and I think Snow definitely thought that was supposed to be a go route down the sideline. And so a miscommunication there. Surprising that we did not see intentional grounding, as there was no receiver in the area and he was still in the pocket. Nonetheless, 2nd down.
Clark takes the handoff once again, takes it himself, and wrestled down the play right there by the Eagles.
And Sam, I think if you're the Eagles, you know that the Bisons are going to come out and try and pass here. And they're really just going for the sticks, but they've done a good job getting those under routes open to give them enough yards to go and get the 1st down. So wonder if they'll go with a short pass here to like the running back. They've used some motion, they've tossed the ball. They've been very versatile in the passing game. So if you're the Eagles defense, you have to really expect anything right here.
They're down in 6 here after the tackle by E.J. Wilson on the play. Clark steps back to pass. Has a man downfield, just over the hands of Josh Vitti. Sets up 4th down for the Nichols. Very good coverage right there by the Eagles. And they hold Nichols on this drive.
And the Eagles, again, do a good job on defense, but Vitti did have a step on him, just a little bit overthrown down the field. So far, rushing yards, the Eagles with 89. They are outrunning this Bison's team very well so far. Again, the Bisons haven't really had to run the ball, though. They've been very successful in the pass game.
Fournet's back to punt. He'll send this one away. Pressure by the defense. Jaquan Miles back there. Has to fall down on the ball right there, just shy of the 27-yard line. So that brings the Eagles back onto the field with just 21 seconds to go left in this first quarter.
And that was close because that ball on the punt came down and hit an Eagles player in the head, which if that ball's recovered by the Bisons afterward, that is a first down for the Bisons. So a good job by the returner there, falling down on it, saving the possession.
Jaquan Miles once again having himself a very good year. The senior out of Daphne, 14 receives on the year with 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. Haven't seen a lot of him so far in this game, but that's likely to change as he's synonymous with speed. Very fast on the field, can get to his routes very quickly. Looks like Buck line up in the backfield once again. Hands off to Hunter. Hunter exploits the hole once again. Gets away from one tackle and finally brought down to the 30-yard line. That was number you wanted to play for Nichols.
And you made a good point earlier on, Sam, as we're going to head to the second quarter. They've been interchanging Lober and Hunter, and it's because they're two different types of backs. Lober is a power back, and Hunter is that speedy guy that they like to use.
Absolutely. We'll likely see more of that once again. So far, it's been rushing. That's been the bread and butter for the Eagles. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back for quarter number 2 on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at It's On.
Take 4, 3, take 3.
We've got a great show, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I need shots, guys.
Scene 4, take 4.
Right back at you. Quarter number 2 here as Hunter gets the handoff from Clark. Keeps the feet moving, gets some good yardage there, and picks up a big chunk of yardage for the Eagles.
And Sam, I want to go back to what I was saying before the break there. I feel like I got to cut a little bit short. Jed Lober has been the power back for the Eagles. He has done a great job just taking that initial contact and getting further yards after that. But they like to switch it to LeVar Hunter, who's that more shifty back. He's going to create more yards by making moves on the inside and the outside. He already has a touchdown in this game. Look for them to continue to pound the rock here on offense.
Casey goes in motion. Clark hands off to Lober. Exploits the right-hand side once again. To pick up a maybe 6 on the play. Brought down on the play by Nichols.
The offensive line, Sam, for the Eagles is just doing an amazing job creating holes for the Eagles running backs. That time, Lober went pretty much untouched into the second level, had to be brought down by a deep linebacker in a corner. And now, 2nd and short for the Eagles.
The Eagles' run game has just been absolutely monstrous in this first half. We saw a lot of that in that first quarter, just as we talked about, Lober and Hunter just combined for a lot of yardage. Lober gets it back once again. A little hesitation move right there, pounds it up the middle, and gets another Husson first down on the play.
And Sam, it's just so impressive how Lober is able to get through all that contact. The entire line was pretty much on him right here in this play. He hands it off, runs up, and the line meets him. A few linebackers and the defensive tackle just able to break all that contact and get extra yards and put his team in a position where they don't have to go for it on 3rd and long.
That was junior Jacob Tachi on the play, bringing down Lober. It's up an Eagles first down on the 50-yard line. Clark hands it off to Hunter once again. Hunter with a big explosion all the way downfield. He's going to get by a defender and finally wrestled down on the play.
And there's going to be a penalty. It's thrown back in the direction, and it looks like it's going to be a holding call, so this one's coming back, Sam.
10-yard penalty, first down.
That one's going to be Jeet Hutchinson.
That is a big loss right there for the Eagles. Hutchinson having himself a good year as a right guard for the Eagles. Very big presence over there, just holds it down. That play just a bit too much contact on the play, just not get nearly enough. Brings back the big drive by Hunter. Sets up first and 18 for the Eagles.
And so now if you're the Eagles, maybe you want to start using that play action. You've ran the ball a lot, and now you have 20 yards to make up instead of that initial 10. Look for them to pass here.
Berthollet goes in motion. He gets the handoff from Clark. Cuts it right up the middle, a few yards right there. Not too many on that play. Sets up second down. Has a gain of 2 on the play. Ball goes to the 44-yard line. And we'll see what Coach Clark has in store for the Eagles now as they try to get some of these yards back.
And the Bison's defense does a good job not falling for that initial handoff, able to track down Berthollet on that sweep play. They did not fall for it, and they retained them to about 2 yards.
4 wide for the Eagles as Clark does it himself. Uses the feet, moves it up the field, and dives forward at the 40-yard line. The Eagles calling for a flag on the play. They felt there was a little bit too much contact afterwards. Nonetheless, a big-time play from Max Clark. Picks up a huge chunk of yardage for the Eagles.
Clark does an incredible job recognizing that no one's open down the field. Takes it off by himself. I was a little worried because he was going to run into some of those linebackers, but he makes a quick move to the outside and gets it within just about a yard of that first down marker. So even if you don't get it on third down, you have fourth down to try and go for it.
A big play from Clark sets up a big third down for the Eagles. Hands it off to Lober. This time nowhere to go. Wrestled down by a swarm of Nichols defenders and sets up fourth down for the Eagles.
And maybe an announcer's jinx by me right there, Sam. It was 3rd and 1, and the line was stacked for the Bisons right there. They were able to get through the offensive line and get a tackle for a loss of about 4. So now it looks like the Eagles will keep their offense out there, Sam, and you got to think they're going to pass.
Dante Barboza was the first one there for the Bison on the play, just interrupting what Lober just getting nowhere on the play. And the Eagles staying out there. The offensive unit will stay on the field. Let's look at a timeout for the Eagles.
Husson. Yep.
Quick timeout for the Eagles. Was it a quick one too? Don't go anywhere, folks. You are watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back in action here. The crowd is ruckus, the music is blaring. Max, the Eagles have been very successful just running the ball so far in this game. What's been working so well for them to get a big chunk of yardage throughout?
The offensive line is doing an amazing job blocking here. We'll come back to that after this fourth down play though, Sam.
LeVar Hunter lines up in the backfield with Clark. Special going to him as Clark is back in the pocket. Finds Wilson across the field and picks up an Eagles first down. Trucks a defender on the play. 3 defenders finally bring down Wilson, and the Eagles pick up a big first down in the second quarter.
And the Eagles take a chance right there. They haven't been very good in the pass game over this year so far through 5 games. This time, Dom Wilson, just kind of similar to what we saw on the touchdown pass, but from the opposite side. He comes through the middle, they get it to him, he's able to pick up the yards on his own, and it's an Eagles first down from 1st and 20.
Pardon the mistake, that was actually Cam Holmes on the play. This is a big yard for the Eagles as Clark fakes the handoff. Finds receiver out on the left-hand side. It's wrangled down. Flag on the play there. 2 flags on the play.
Multiple flags. Both appear to be in the secondary, Sam. So unless it's a illegal contact or a hold on the wide receiver there, we'll see what the call is. It looks like they're pointing in the direction of the Eagles.
First flag was thrown right near the line of scrimmage. The second one was thrown right near, maybe to the 27-yard line. The officials talking it over. Make sure they clarify which call was right. To your point, Max, it looked like it did happen a little bit in the backfield as that first flag was being thrown. So more likely than not, this could go to the Eagles. Push it back a little bit more.
So it's 2 penalties, both on the Eagles. And one of them was a hold up front. And the other one, I believe it was an illegal contact on Jaquan Miles. As he made that catch, he kind of pushed off to get that separation. The ref's still talking about it, though.
And that play from Miles, you're allowed to give a little bit of contact to obviously get yourself open.
Illegal blindside block.
A little bit more.
Offense number 63. That penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back. Offense number 0. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
And so a weird turn of events there, Sam. It looked like it was going to be an illegal contact on Jaquan Miles. They threw the flag right in the direction of where that pass was caught. It actually is 2 completely different penalties up near that front line, and the Eagles once again set up at 1st and 20.
It was Ryan Sherliff and LeVar Hunter getting those big-time penalties for the Eagles. That's up 1st and 20. That 45-yard line. Hand off to Hunter once again. Finds the big hole. And brought down just near the 47-yard line for the Nichols. Sets up 2nd down.
And that one just straight up the middle. Linebackers were there ready to make the play. That time, number 21, Brandon Koppler, able to make the tackle from that free safety position.
The Eagles so far in this game have had a few penalties, but as we saw with Max Clark's running game, and it's not affected them too much. Clark steps back in the pocket, has Casey right-hand side, makes 2 miss, and finally brought down once again by Kapaler and number 43 for Nichols.
They like playing that free safety position up a little bit more in order to stop the run and those short passes. Bisons have been playing the majority of this game with a single back playing deep.
That was Spencer Larendo for the Nichols coming up with that tackle there. As Clark lines up at the sideline, Lober right back there with him. Clark steps back, has a man downfield. Wilson wide open, and once again, touchdown for the Eagles. Wilson with the beautiful separation on the play, and the Eagles offensive clinic continues.
And what a play drawn up by this Eagles offense. 3rd and 9, and they decide to go for the long pass. Clark realizes it's a one-on-one. That safety's not there. Wilson beats the corner off the punch, and it's to the house from there. And the Eagles have taken a 20-7 lead.
Pardon me, once again, that was Cam Holmes again on the play. Mistaking those people. Number 6, Cam Holmes. That makes touchdown number 3 on the year for Holmes. Had himself a very good year. As once again, Markovich pure as pie on the PAT. And Max, the Eagles are just having themselves a very, very solid game on the offensive side of the ball. It just seems like whatever penalties they seem to pick up, they just go away just like that.
And I think it's because that pass game is opening by how much they're running the ball, Sam. If you run the ball 1,000 times and then go for the pass, the defense is not going to expect it. And that time, they left Holmes wide or in a one-on-one situation with the corner, and we talked about how they've only had one deep safety in the backfield. So if he's able to beat that corner on the outside on that go route, the safety's going to have to make up a lot of ground, and it was too late as he was already in the end zone when he got there.
Holmes had him beat clean on the snap right there. And Holmes is not somebody you want to leave in one-on-one coverage. He is very, very fast, like most of these Eagles wide receivers. He was able to break away and get a big-time score for the Eagles, which reinvigorates the crowd, keeps them all hyped up. And now Nichols, once again, a chance to respond. Max, if you're the Bison, what are some things you might want to change if you want to get back into this game?
You need to start, I guess, passing and throwing, or passing and running the ball. They need to explore all their options, but they're going to have an opportunity, big opportunity here.
As Cornback with a big, big gain on the play right there, brings it up to the 40-yard line. Brought down by the Eagles and sets up the Nichols with very, very solid field position here as they look to get back into this ball game.
Nichols did a great job early on in this game, especially on their first their first scoring drive, of running motion in the backfield and kind of throwing off that Eagles defense. They kind of seceded or stopped doing that on these last few possessions and have been panicking since being down. And now they're down 2 scores. Bring back that motion, force the Eagles to try and guess what you're going to run.
You got to give credit to the Eagles defense for adjusting to any sort of tricks that the Bison have tried to use. As Snow takes the handoff, broken up on the play by the Eagles and nearly picked off on the play by Dominic Cassell. That would have been a huge play had the big man gotten the reception right there.
And like you said, just a great job defensively here. You'll see the pass from Clark is just tipped in the middle of the field by the linebacker. And that would be number 40, CJ Nicely, the senior, who makes that initial tip of the ball. And they were almost able to come down with the first interception of him on the year.
Snow drops back in the pocket, look for a man way downfield. He's got Martin, no good on the play. He was looking for Viti all the way downfield.
And that one was more than, they kind of went for a similar play that the Eagles just ran. They realized the one-on-one coverage, and he did have him beat Sam, but just unable to corral the ball. It was almost a perfect pass from Snow.
Excuse me, moving on the play right there, just no good once again. I mean, just barely missed it by the tip of his fingers. Sets up 3rd down for the Bison.
And now you're gonna see the Eagles with a little bit more protection in the back. Right now they've got 2 deep safeties. I wonder if they'll keep them, and they will stay deep.
Clark drops back, finds a man, tried to find Morvan once again, incomplete on the play. Had a man, that was Turgeron right on his back. Brings up 4th down for the Bison.
Another stout and stellar possession on defense for the Eagles. A team that seemed like they were passing all over them in that first scoring drive. The Bisons have not been able to move the ball. And they're going to be forced to punt here and give the Eagles the ball back. At this point, they're just hoping that they can pin the ball.
That Eagles secondary really just holding their own, as the first down game has been the name of the game, as the Eagles 7 more first downs than the Bison, as Miles receives this near his own 10-yard line and wrestled down by the play by Nichols. He sets up 1st down for the Eagles.
Huge play. You don't want them to start with good field position the way that they've been running and passing the ball. So they pinned them down inside the 20-yard line. We've got an injured player for the Eagles out there right now and for the Bisons.
For an injury.
We'll be right back after this injury timeout on Husson Eagles Sports Network. Here on Husson Eagles Sports Network, that was Jaquan Miles hitting the deck. Had a little shaking up on the play, back under his own power. Miles as tough as they come. Definitely not somebody you want down if you're the Eagles. Nonetheless, he's back in his own power. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for the Eagles. Clark once again lining up in the backfield. Looking to pass, finds Casey. Running across, makes a defender miss. And eventually brought down near the 39-yard line. Casey, once again, a big gain on the play.
And Casey just, again, goes to the outside, runs that short little screen route, receives the pass, and there's nobody there. The Eagles are realizing that that coverage is not playing up close to the line. They're dropping back, especially after that long passing touchdown on the last possession. They're playing deeper now. They don't want those deep passes, but it opens up the middle game or the short pass game, and in turn, they turned it into 10 yards right there.
A big-time block from Berthollet to open up that pass to Casey as Hunter cuts across the middle. Wrapped up on the play. Actually a gain of 3. He was brought down by Bryce Prince, the linebacker for Nichols, sets up 2nd and 6 at the 36-yard line.
And you can see the Eagles offense just becoming more comfortable and confident in what they have out there. Passing the ball a little bit more too. They struggled with that early on, and then after that last passing touchdown, I think they're gonna open it up a lot more.
You see a lot of open opportunities here for the Eagles, really just holding it down on the offensive end. They've had a field day. As Lober gets the handoff from Clark, splits it up the middle, eventually brought down by Nichols.
That's appears, it looked like they were gonna start moving the sticks there. It's gonna be 3rd and short. I think you're gonna see Lober get the ball here again. No, they'll send him off the field. So I thought it was a for sure thing on a 3rd and short to run the ball with Lober. Don't know now. They've got Hunter in. He's done a good job getting yards today, but I wonder if they're going to pass a short pass or hand it off.
Hand off to Hunter up the middle. Hurdles a defender and breaks away for another Eagles first down.
And the gateways just opened right there. There was so much room for Hunter to get through. Offensive line doing a great job creating enough space for these running backs to get through today. And new set of downs coming up for the Eagles. Hunter having himself quite the day. Again, only came in with 200 yards, and he's closing in on those triple digits today.
Tripped up by Brendan Aylward on the play. Outside pass to Jaquan Miles. Miles gonna bring it up the sideline. And he's gonna get away from a defender and brings it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Jaquan Miles, a big boost of speed right there. Turned on the turbo meter. Gets up another set of downs for the Eagles.
Eagles are utilizing the short pass game now, Sam. They are treating it almost as though it's the run. They pass to someone who's right about at the line of scrimmage, and they go off and get the rest of those yards. This time Clark gets it out to the right side, and Miles just notices no one's there. He takes off vertical down the field, sets up a new set of downs for the Eagles.
Got a huge block from a teammate right there. Sets it up on the 23-yard line. The handoff to Hunter. Brings it up the middle. Shot at the 20-yard line. Short gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
That time the Bisons do a good job stuffing the line of scrimmage. And I think this defense is confused, Sam. They don't know what to expect from the Eagles at this point. I think their game plan coming into this game was, oh, the Eagles are gonna pound the rock. They're gonna run it almost every time with the occasional pass on maybe 3rd and long. But they've changed that game plan up quite a bit, and I think they're shocked.
This consistency has been the Eagles' name in the game. As Lober gets the handoff, nowhere to go that time. Wrapped up by a swarm of Bison defenders. First one there was Lucas Ferguson and A.J. Samuel combining for the tackle there as the rest of the team swarmed around. Sets up 3rd and 6 for the Eagles.
Loss of 1 brings up 3rd down and 7.
And here you are again, Sam, with a 3rd and mid to long right here for the Eagles. They've ran it up from this distance with the quarterback, and they've also passed from this distance. So interesting to see what they're gonna do here on this big 3rd down.
Clark steps back in the pocket, has a man downfield, and bobbled and nearly caught on the left-hand side. That was Holmes on the play, who he was looking for. Broken up by Braden Aylward on the play, sets up 4th down.
And they wanted that go route to Holmes again. That time the coverage way better from the Bisons. And he almost came down with it, but it's hard to make that catch over a defender's head. Great job and greatly played by this Bison's defense.
That was Aylward and the free safety. Looks like it was Jose Lopez on the play, on the coverage against Holmes. And the Eagles, 4th and 7 on their own 20, going for it right here. Clark lines up in the backfield. Lobert on his left.
And the Nichols, I think, smartly call a timeout there, not knowing what to expect from the Eagles on 4th down. And then now you wonder if the Eagles are going to switch it up and go for a field goal here just to extend the lead.
And if you're the Eagles, or excuse me, if you're the Bison, Max, calling a timeout like this, what's the defensive adjustment you got to play?
I think the adjustment you've got to make is realize that they're not running the ball. So maybe you play a little bit more man coverage. It worked out for them right there. But also, I think you need to start putting safeties a little bit deeper because they are going for those deep balls once they get inside the 30-yard line. It's hard to coach that because they came in with a certain game plan, Sam, and now they have to change it up because the Eagles came in and shocked them.
It seems like the Nichols has not been able to adjust to the Eagles' ever-changing offense. It just seems like whenever they get used to the run game, a pass just comes out of nowhere. And as a result, we got that Cam Holmes touchdown, that Cullen Casey touchdown. So the Eagles' strategy to mix things up and just have a little bit of a poutine of an offense of sorts, just working in all aspects, has helped them big time.
They won't go for it. They will go and attempt the kick here. It's going to be a 36-yard attempt from the Eagles.
Kason Markovich, 2 for 2 on field goals this year. It's the snap. Kick is up. And that one just a bit wide right on the play.
That one hits the post. Very close.
Had an opportunity to fleece it right through. No dice there. Eagles come up short on this drive. Sets up Nichols on their own 20-yard line. As we take a look at the time of possession here, it looks the Eagles have been in full control as we look a 14:39 as compared to Nichols 8 minutes and 3 seconds, and that's really been the game changer in this contest, Max.
Well, when you run the ball, the clock is going to keep running regardless. So they've been able to take a chunk out of this half, or these really the last 2 quarters. And it's worked out for the Eagles, but now the Bisons are going to get an opportunity to come back into this game. Big stop on 4th down.
As Jonabus breaks it up the middle for the Bison and wrestled down by a swarm of Eagles defenders. Good enough for maybe 6 on the play. Sets up 2nd down.
I think you're going to see them start to open up that run game a little bit more, Sam. They passed a lot on the last possession. Just 3 passes, didn't get anywhere with it.
Right on cue, Clark off the hands of Jack Morvan once again. Nicely was right there, almost looking for the pick right there. Nonetheless, sets up 3rd down for the Bison.
And when you're down like this, you're obviously going to start going to your top guys. This time they go for Morvan. He's just unable to corral it. It was good defense there by the Eagles, but it's just they can't really buy a catch right now.
It's been very, very inconsistent with the Bison. Seems like one drive they have a lot of good things going for them. The next they just can't seem to figure out what to do. But give credit to the Eagles defense for adjusting their game plan and adjusting to the Bison offense. As Clark steps back in the pocket, looking for a man, takes it himself, and gets just barely past the 1st down yard line, but muscled up right there. That was Ricky Hendricks on the play, stuffing Clark.
And Ricky Hendricks stood Clark up, or stuck Snow up, rather, right there in his tracks, but he was just barely able to push forward for that 1st down.
Just enough for Snow on the play.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Looks like we got a 2-minute timeout here on the play.
And I think, Sam, if you're the Bisons, you have got to cook something up to score before halftime. They are going to come out with, or the Eagles are going to get the ball to start this next quarter, or the next half rather, and You really can't afford to give up any more points. You got to score right here.
All right, we're going to take a quick little break here. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at It's On.
Four, take 4. 3, take 3.
We've got a great show, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I need shots, guys.
Scene 4, take 4.
All right, back in action here on Husson Eagles Sports Network. And during the break, Clark with a magnificent pass to Jack Morvan on the right-hand side picks up another first down for the Bison.
And Snow able to get that one to Morvan. Just catches him on that little, it's almost kind of like a screen route. It's similar to what the Eagles have been doing.
As Clark takes his time in the pocket, just to make a man move, keeps it himself, turns it upfield, shoved out of bounds by Hendricks on the play, picks up yet another good set of downs for the Bison.
And Snow is not known for being that sort of dual threat quarterback, but you know, when he sees an opening, he's gonna take off. This time he goes through his progressions, doesn't see an open wide receiver, and just decides to use his legs. Open space on that right side, he finds it, and he gets the first down.
Snow, 3 TDs on the ground this year. That's back in the pocket. Pressure coming. Looking for a man downfield. That one's caught! Wrangled down by the 8-yard line. That was Josh Vitti on the play.
And Vitti able to pull that one in, but it looked like there was pass interference. You'll take a look at the replay right here. A great throw from Snow, but a clear push off. Surprised there's no flag on that one. It's gonna be 1st and goal for the Bison.
Tergion on the coverage there. Just couldn't seem to get it done as Clark keeps it himself. And so the ball came out. And looks like the play's gonna call it dead. Clark was down right near the end zone. The ball came out and then looks like the officials called it dead.
Let's see on the replay if you can tell if that ball comes out. It doesn't matter at this point because the ball was, the play was called dead. So regardless, it wouldn't be a fumble, but it looked like that ball came out, Sam. We'll see right here.
It's like Clark takes it right near the play.
And that's a fumble. That should have been a fumble.
Yep, looks like he lost the ball just before he went down there. Looks like the officials might be talking it over there.
Yeah, they had called the play dead, so it's hard to give the Eagles the ball after that. But 2 very controversial calls in a row have set the Bison up here on the half-yard line with the ability to put this game within 7 heading into halftime.
Yeah, nonetheless, 2 huge plays for the Bison to get right into the Eagles' red zone. Sets them up beautifully at the 1-yard line. And definitely, regardless of how controversial the call may be, it puts you in a good position to get some momentum back before halftime. We've seen some big plays happen for Nichols. Those 2 in particular really just saving them in this first half, allowing them some opportunities to get some points on the board before we go to halftime. And regardless of whether or not the Bison score, the Eagles will get the ball back at halftime, so we'll see what happens here. Clark lines up, tries to fake the handoff, and he kept it himself, and this time...
And Snow
he was in for the touchdown.
Snow does a good job selling the fake right there. Goes for the handoff to the running back, Jonavis, and I fell for it. I looked towards Jonavis at first. You'll see it here, right here. Boop, pulls it back inside, takes off. No one's there.
Wide open hole there for Snow on the play. Does it himself, and that's the threat that Snow has on his feet. That's touchdown number 4 on the ground. As Fuentes' kick wide left, but good nonetheless. And it's now a 1-score game here at the Winkin Complex.
And that one does go through. So it is a 7-point game, Sam. And that's exactly what the Bison needed, was a momentum shift like that. They will have to come out and play good defense going into the third quarter, but I feel like they feel a lot better going into halftime down 7 rather than 14.
Now the Eagles with a chance to extend the lead even more before halftime, depending on how they use this clock management. And as we said, they will get the ball back. So Max, if you're the Eagles, what's the game plan here with just over 1 minute left to play here in this first half?
You put it on the ground and hope they don't use their timeouts. I think both teams kind of just want to get back to the locker room, discuss the game plan coming out. I know that the Bisons want to figure out a way to stop the Eagles on offense, since they've been really good both running and passing so far today. And they might have to switch their game plan up from what they came in with. And I think the Eagles are just going to run it out and hope that they can get to halftime.
Boyd is getting ready to kick it off. Just over a minute left to go here in this first half. The Eagles with a 7-point lead over the Bison. That one's up and away, fielded by the Eagles. That's a big chunk of yardage right there on the play, where the Eagles wrestled down. That was Cam Cornett on the return. Sets up first down for the Eagles.
Cornett almost broke through about 3 tackles right there. If he would have broke that last one, he might have been gone to the end zone. But the coverage team comes up and is able to make that stop right around the 27-yard line.
Nice little play there for the Bison to set up the Eagles. Near the 27 on the play. As the Eagles one more chance to score here before they get the ball back at halftime. Casey and Hunter go in motion. Likely see some running plays here to run up the clock. Hunter gets the handoff, takes it outside. Breaks it through a hole up the field, maybe a gain of 6 on the play. Sets up second down.
And they're not going to use the timeouts. The Bisons will not, so I think they're just going to end up going to halftime here, taking that 7-point lead into half.
Takes that one to the 37-yard line. You said the Eagles probably likely just run the clock out here. Hunter gets it back once again. Hurdles a defender on the play. Picks up a quick little gain. And I think that might set up another first down for the Eagles.
And now the Eagles are going to call a timeout. You'll see it's just a handoff right here. A great job to kind of half hurdle over the defender. That being number 27, Garrett Manning. And the Eagles call a timeout. Maybe they are trying to get in field goal position to extend this lead coming out of the half.
Definitely Coach Clark has something up his sleeve with calling a timeout this late in the first quarter, or first half, excuse me. As he might potentially, maybe at minimum, look for a field goal, at most just put the ball in the end zone once again to really give yourself even more breathing room going into the second half.
Or who knows, maybe a Hail Mary. We saw what Rodgers did on Monday night versus the Bills. Who knows?
I can't really hear you over the play-by-play guy.
Now,
black collared shirt.
Clark has a man downfield, and he's got Holmes, and he breaks away from defenders. He takes it all the way downfield, nearly made a defender miss, all the way down near the 20-yard line.
And they're gonna have to hurry it up, no timeouts left.
Cam Holmes having himself a huge first half.
It's kind of hard to hear.
He's had himself already a score in the game. As the clock runs down, 20 seconds left. Clark steps back to pass. Finds Miles.
He's got to get out of bounds. He doesn't.
He tripped up.
They're going to have to hurry up here. 14 seconds.
Yeah.
30 seconds left. Looks like the Eagles will call another timeout here.
Guy can't get over there.
Interesting that they didn't use that timeout first, Sam.
He said he can only.
The Eagles now looking to play total clock management now. 13 seconds left. Looking to find that end zone. Looks like Coach Clark, that was his game plan all along. Just get that ball into the end zone. Give yourself a little bit more of a comfortable lead here going into the second half. And, getting the ball back again when we come back from break will be, and if they can score on that, that just makes things all the more sweeter for the Eagles.
And I don't think the Bison were expecting the Eagles to come out and play aggressive like this. A deep shot down the field might make the difference between a 7-point deficit and then a potential 14-point deficit if they're able to put it in the end zone and kick the PAT. This is a huge play and last 13 seconds of this half for the Bison and the Eagles.
Wilson out right, Holmes out left. Clark stands up in the backfield. He's looking for Wilson, has him in the end zone! Nearly caught on the play. Broken up by number 1. That was Gael Alvarez Rojas on the play with a beautiful rejection of the play.
And Alvarez Rojas really, like you said, a beautiful job in pass coverage right there. Really stayed with the wide receiver the entire time. Didn't give Wilson a chance to come down with that ball, knocked it right out of his hands. The Eagles will have another opportunity here. 3rd down, you might be able to get 2 more plays in. 9.5 on the clock.
Had Wilson caught that, this place would have erupted. As Clark tries again, looking for Wilson, single coverage, caught! Wilson with an ab! Touchdown, Husson!
Wilson, they go right back to him. They expect that he's gonna come down with that ball after that first one, and he does. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what they say it is.
Looking like it's gonna go towards the Bison on the play. Looks like potential pass interference by Alvarez Rojas.
He definitely was, but look at him. Just a corner fade route, able to put the ball on the side of the defender. Defender's going up, trying to hit it out of his hands, and Wilson does an incredible job tracking down the ball, pulling it in, and barring the extra point, Sam. 14-point lead for the Eagles instead of 7 going into the half.
Some incredible Wilson wizardry on that last play, as the Eagles now. Markovich lines it up. Pure as pie once again, and the Eagles have built themselves a 14-point lead here in this first half.
Sam, very interesting that the Bisons decided to leave him one-on-one with Wilson again. He almost came down with that first pass, a very great play by the defender. And then that second time, they leave him one-on-one again. It's something you don't normally see. But they go right back to him. They recognize that one-on-one, and that's going to make a huge difference because Husson and the Eagles get the ball back coming out of the half.
That's just the kind of trust you love to see from your wide receiver if you are Max Clark. Knew that Wilson favored the matchup that he had, found him once again, and extends this Eagles lead. And all throughout this game, the Eagles have just controlled the time of possession and have really just put on a clinic on offense. And their ever-adjusting offensive schemes have just kept Nichols on their toes. And so far, Nichols, while they've had their moments, have not been able to fully comprehend what the Eagles have been doing.
And Nichols is starstruck. They have no idea what hit them in this first half. They came in clearly expecting the run game from Lober and Hunter from this Eagles offense, but they have, in running the ball, opened up the pass game, and they were not ready for it.
The Eagles in full control now, sitting in the driver's seat. As a little squib play by the Eagles.
A smart play there by the Eagles to squib kick it and not allow them to really return the ball. And you'll probably just see a kneel down right here, Sam, and we'll head into the half.
Fielded by Boboza on the play. Sets up 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line for the Bison. As you said, we'll likely just see potentially a kneel on the play, but I would not be surprised if Nichols decides to try something new, try maybe a deep shot downfield.
And that's what they're going to do, Sam. They are going to go for the deep shot. You've got 3 players in the far back.
As Snow runs to his right. Looking for a play here. Sends it downfield. And that one broken up by the defense. And that's going to do it for the first half of action here at the Winkin Complex. The Eagles holding a 14-point lead over the Bison and Nichols. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after halftime on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
they'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from Grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again? Yep. Mix the beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika with the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it? Got it. Throw in the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
4, take 4. Ready, 3, take 3.
We've got a great show, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I need shots, guys.
Scene 4, take 4.
Kind of ran the ball a lot, and then option routes. It's kind of blew the defense a little bit. Why did you make that adjustment?
Well, obviously we run the ball really well in the first quarter, so they made some adjustments, and we just felt like they gave us some things in the passing game, and that's football. That's college football. Everyone makes adjustments, and we'll have to make some here in the locker room and get back at it in the third quarter.
Thank you, Nat, and good luck to you second half. Back to you guys.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
So the Hall of Fame here at Husson University, the Husson Sports Hall of Fame, it's a tremendous honor. I think there's over 100 Hall of Famers currently, but I mean, it takes a lot to get in. I mean, this is a committee that decides this. There's a subcommittee that puts the names forward, and of course, then the Hall of Fame committee actually votes, and that's how you get in. You look at what this means in terms of, for a lot of these people, this is the crowning achievement of their collegiate careers. One of our inductees, Brian Biggers, standout, jack of all trades, player here at Husson from 2005 to 06. He's the first New England Sports Football Writers Coaches Association for Division II, Division III, all New England selection in school history. So, I mean, this was an elite athlete, that Division I athlete that came here, racked up several interceptions, a lot of punt returns, a lot of punt return yardage, and then, I mean, he kind of paved the path for what football has become now, and Brian Biggers contributed a lot to how the football program has evolved into what it is. Another one of our Hall of Famers, legendary coach Gabby Price. I mean, when you look at Husson in terms of how it's grown over the years. Gabby Price is another one of these names that jumps to the top of the list when you think of how Husson history has developed. Led to Husson to, I think it's 4 or 5 ECFC championships. I mean, he's coached numerous All-Americans, he's coached numerous all New England, all region selections. So, I mean, this is a name when you walk around Husson that's very well known.
Known Gabby all my life, and just what an impact he's made on so many people's lives, including myself. Just kind of an icon in the BANGOR area, not just coaching, but just his impact on people. He inspired people to be their best and saw the best in people all the time. And I think that translated to the football field and student athletes really finding him incredibly a special coach because of that.
I worked for Gabby for a number of years, and I just learned so much from that man. He always had his door open, and you know, he really felt that the student athletes were really the most important thing. So as busy as he was and had stuff going on all day long, if somebody needed to talk, he took that time, and he took a lot of time.
So of course, one of our other Hall of Famers, Kissy Walker, our women's basketball coach, she's already in the Husson Sports Hall of Fame, went in the Maine Basketball Hall of Fame several years ago, and then of course this year joining Gabby Price in the Maine Sports Hall of Fame. Over 550 career victories, numerous All-Americans, probably close to 20 conference championships. I mean, you look at, as I mentioned, the figures or the pillars of Husson athletics. I mean, Kissy Walker's on the top of that list as well.
Kissy's a tremendous teacher. One of the things that I always say about Coach Walker is that, I don't think there's a better teacher of the game of basketball that I know than Coach Walker. She prepares the teams really well, and they're well coached. And she has a great impact on them, as young ladies and in their professional lives as well.
For me, I've just really enjoyed our athletes and the relationships, and coaching is really all about relationships.
The Husson community is very lucky to have these 3 Hall of Famers in Brian Biggers, Gabby Price, and Kissy Walker.
Really amazing to see all those Husson alumni, Hall of Famers that we have here, just doing their part and making our school just as refreshing as it could be. We'll be right back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
They'll test you, try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from Grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again? Yep. Mix beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika, the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it? Got it. Throw in the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Take 4, 3, take 3.
We've got a great show, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I need shots, guys.
Scene 4, take 4.
All right, back live here at the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Before the game, we got a chance to sit down with newly inaugurated President Lynn Koyogan, out of the seventh president in Husson's history and the first female one. Here's what we were able to find out.
I think our sense of community is one of the greatest attributes of the university. In fact, today marks my 100th day as president. And during the first 3 months, I've spent a lot of time holding listening sessions with many of our students and employees to better understand what they're most proud of at Husson and where we have new opportunities to pursue in the future. And a sense of belongingness was one of the top 3 areas of pride identified from all of those stakeholders. I'm very fortunate as the new president to have spent 20 years of my professional career at Husson, coming first as the Dean of the School of Education, and then having spent the last 15 years as the Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Certainly, as an academic leader for 2 decades on this campus, a priority for me has been to model the importance of setting the example of creating a sense of belongingness for every student and every employee who is part of the Husson community, helping others recognize the importance of every opinion being valued and every student having an opportunity as the core of our mission. As the president of Husson University, my priority will be to every component of the stakeholders, from our students to our staff to our faculty to our alumni and our corporate partners, helping them understand the talent that exists here on this campus and the potential that we have as we turn a new chapter of the university's history and look forward to all that can become for Husson University in the future.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again? Yep. Mix the beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika, the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it? Got it. Throw on the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Four, take 4, 3, 3, take 3.
We've got a great show, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I need shots, guys.
Scene 4, take 4.
Back here live again at the Winkin Complex. Eagles up 28-14 at halftime. Max, what did we see from the Eagles that made them so successful in that first half?
I'm going to say it's Max Clark, the quarterback for the Eagles. Went 12 of 16 for 178 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half. An incredible job. He got that out to a few different players. We saw some rushing touchdowns. We saw some receiving touchdowns. And at the end of that first half, they were able to drive down the field and put another one on the board to give them a 14-point lead. And they get the ball back after the half. So Eagles just have all the momentum right now.
They've been in the driver's seat firmly since the opening possession. See from the highlights here, there have been a lot of big plays for the Eagles. Holmes and Wilson finding a couple scores of their own, and Nichols has not been able to really just find any control of the Eagles' offense here.
Nichols has not been able to find it because I don't think they expected it. You got LeVar Hunter with the most yards on the ground for the Eagles with 104. Usually you see Jed Lober be that premier back. He's only got 57. But they've used a combination of the both of them, and it's worked out well. And then you head into the passing game. They've just done an incredible job getting it to a bunch of different guys, whether it's Miles, Dom Wilson, Cam Holmes. They've been able to spread the ball around and really throw that defense of the Bison off.
As for Nichols, Owen Snow, the touchdown of his own. 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, and then Josh Vitti on the play. Had a score of his own in that play, really just helping the Bison stay in this game. And it'll be interesting to see what the Bisons will do when they come out of this second half. And just under 6 minutes left to go here before we bring it back from halftime. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from Grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again? Yep. Mix beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika, the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it? Got it. Throw on the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Take 4, 3, 3, take 3.
We've got a great show, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I need shots, guys.
Scene 4, take 4.
Live again on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. 3 minutes left till halftime. Coming up for these two teams after this contest. First for the Nichols. After this, they will be going to the University of New England at home on the 26th of October at 1 p.m. And as for the Eagles, they will be going to Curry College. Take them on the 26th at 2:30 p.m. Both these teams getting ready for the second half of action.
And you see the Eagles, they've got quite the schedule coming up. They're going to play Curry and then WNE, Endicott, and then they'll wrap up their season versus the New England College or University of New England. And it's really important that they get into a groove heading down the stretch here. They're 3-2 right now, up 14 in this game, and they really want to kind of get that momentum going heading into a potential postseason, Sam. Both these teams do, but the Eagles especially, as they are already ahead in this game and could see themselves being 4-2 by the end of it if they're able to hold on to this lead.
So far, the name of the game has been offensive versatility for the Eagles, doing it on the ground, in the air, and any other way you want to look at it. The Eagles have been comfortably in control of this game on the offensive side of the ball, just holding down the time of possession. You see here, we got the first half stats. The Eagles with just absolutely torching the Bison in both pass yards and rushing yards. 276 total yards compared to the 87 of the Bison, including 3 touchdowns, and nearly 15 minutes of time of possession compared to the Bison's just over 8. So we're definitely in to see whether or not the Bison can kind of just adjust to the firestorm that has been the Eagles' offense, or if the Eagles will just continue on their hot streak.
And remember, the Bison and Nichols College, that 87 yards, a lot of that came on that first possession where they scored. And since then, they really haven't been able to get the ball rolling. Once they went down a couple of scores, it almost seemed like they were panicking quite a bit, not really able to find any offensive groove in that first half. And then, of course, they went down the field, got that very controversial call for pass interference, or rather non-call for pass interference. And then they were able to punch the ball into the end zone with the QB, Owen Snow. And then, of course, Husson came back and extended their lead in the closing seconds of that first half. So you got to think that the game plan for the Nichols Bisons has changed.
Absolutely, and of course, we talked about the Bison and their ability and how they've been struggling on the offensive side of the ball, but again, you got to give a lot of credit to the Eagles defense, as just like their offense, they have been able to adjust to everything the Bison have been doing, whether it be pass plays, end around, screen passes, anything you name it, the Eagles have been able to pick up on it in the blink of an eye, and as a result, it's helped them open up this lead a lot more. And as the Bison won the toss in the first half, the Eagles will receive with yet another chance to extend their lead even more.
Wonder if they'll come out throwing the ball like they were at the end of that first half, or if they'll kind of settle back in with the run with Lober and Hunter.
Let's kick this one away. This is Cornett and Berthollet. Cornett breaks it upfield. He's got some room to operate. One man to beat. Foynez wraps him up just in time, but what a burst upfield and a big way to start the second half.
And now the Eagles are going to look a little bit different than maybe they would have if they were starting at their own 20 or 30 yard line. You'll see it right here. He's just able to find the hole. It's wide open. He runs all the way through it and is unable to get past that last player. But regardless, the Eagles set up at the opposing 33-yard line in great position to extend this lead.
If you've ever read that, if you ever heard the story of the tortoise and the hare, Kemp Cornett is definitely not the tortoise in that case, as he just torched the Bison there as Lober gets the handoff from Clark. Gain of maybe 2 on the play. Wrapped up by a Bison defender.
Lober and Hunter again switching positions. Lober heading to the sideline, Hunter heading back out onto the field. Talked about all in the first half how they like to interchange those two running backs. They're going to go with Hunter here, maybe an outside run this time.
That was Shane Roberts on that last tackle for the Bison. Clark hands in the pocket, hands it off to Hunter. Hunter cuts upfield once again, and a big gain for Hunter. Sets up the Eagles nicely on the play.
Hunter comes into the second half with 104 yards, and he tallies on some more right there. He has not often been the premier back for this Eagles squad. That goes to Lober most of the time, but Hunter has been seeing a lot of snaps in this game, and they really like using him on those outside carries or reverse carries.
Aiden Cahoe on the tackle there for the Bison, as the Eagles just continue to work the ball down the field in just dramatic fashion. Hunter gets the handoff again, gets a block upfield by the lineman. Drives it up for a short gain on the play, sets up second down.
Ball carried by Hunter.
Again at 3 on the play, sets it up at the Eagles' 15-yard line.
See, just another handoff to the outside. Cuts it a little bit short because he sees the hole in one of the gaps there off the tackle and was able to get a few extra yards out of that.
Notice that Clark has not been under center this entire game. He has always done all of his work in the backfield. As they hand off to Hunter once again, dragging the defender with him for a short while, but eventually brought down by the Bison. That was Dante Barboza, the first man there, holding on to Hunter for dear life, trying to bring him down.
And the Eagles now kind of in a weird position. When it's been 3rd and long, they throw the ball. When it's 3rd and short, they put the trust in their running backs. It's 3rd and medium here, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Last 2 runs have not gone for a lot of yardage.
As Hunter comes out the field limping, 3rd down for the Eagles. Clark steps back in the pocket, finds Berthollet, tries to take it upfield to the pylon, and it's a touchdown for the Eagles. Mason Berthollet, a big-time play, and the Eagles continue their offensive clinic.
And everyone is eating on this Husson Eagles offense. This time it's Berthollet who's going to cut across the middle. This is similar to that touchdown pass we saw earlier from the Eagles. And they run essentially the same play, noticing it's man coverage by the Bisons, and he takes it in himself.
That's now 5 different receivers for the Eagles that have found the end zone. Casey, Wilson, Holmes, Berthollet, And the kick by Markovich good once again. And the Eagles, Max, they've just taken the momentum that they had in that first half, and it's just carried over in a big way.
And Sam, I think I speak for both of us when I say we didn't really expect the game to be this one-sided, especially with those first 2 drives, both teams scoring. It's just been the difference of the Eagles have been able to figure out the Bison's offense, and the Bisons have not been able to figure out the Eagles' offense.
It just comes down to the way you've been able to adjust. If you're the Eagles, I mean, Coach Clark could not be any happier with the way his team is playing right now. It seems like whenever the Bison try to do something new and whenever they have some sort of momentum, the Eagles just put a stop to it extremely fast. And give credit to the Eagles' defense just being able to adjust on the fly and pick up everything in the blink of an eye. As for this offense, I mean, you can't be playing a better game if you wanted to. You have almost all of your core receivers getting into the end zone. You've had Hunter, Hunter and Lober, who've been absolutely torching the defense on the ground. If anything, all the cogs are clicking right now, and the Eagles' offense is just fluent in motion.
They've really gotten everybody involved, from running backs to tight ends to wide receivers. A great job game planning for this game by the Eagles.
As quarterback gets the return right there, makes the defender miss. Brought down on the play, that was Miles Harris. Wrapping him up and throwing him down on the play.
Orenbeck, a dangerous returner, has had several times today where if he just breaks one tackle, he might be gone down the sideline into the end zone. They haven't really been able to get great field position out of him today. I think the furthest that he ever made it on a return today was to the 40-yard line. So apart from 1 or 2 possessions, Sam, where there was a 4th down turnover, the Bisons have not started with great field position, and the way that their offense is playing right now and they're struggling, it's not going to help them out.
Eagles special teams really playing well also, as Janabas gets the hand up right there and gets absolutely clocked in the backfield by a swarm of Eagles defenders.
Janabas.
That was Trombley, the first one to get to him.
Janabas somehow able to eat that hit right there and not fall to the ground.
As Clark looks for Marvin downfield, broken up on the play. A big-time breakup on the play by the Eagles.
That was number 5, Kane Smith, who actually didn't make a start today. Tyler Armin was the one starting for the Eagles today at that cornerback position, but Smith comes back into this game and nearly picks off Snow. Regardless, though, a great pass breakup and a game or a touchdown saving one at that.
That play would have been absolutely massive for the Bison, who are looking to get back into this game after really struggling since those last 2 touchdowns, just have not been able to find a rhythm. No. 3rd and 8 on the 37.
Huge play here, Sam.
Snow steps back in the pocket, scrambles, looking for a man. Has Vidi downfield. Flag on the play. Looks like we're going to get a defender for pass interference. That was Ethan Turgeon on the coverage for Vidi. And that's going to, the extra laundry there is really going to cost the Eagles on that play.
And Turgeon certainly interfered with the ability to catch the ball there for the wide receiver of the Bisons.
First down.
See if we get a replay of it right here. It was a great throw, just maybe the receiver a little bit too fast for it, and then obviously interfered with.
It seemed like if Turgeon had a little momentum on that play, and Vidi had him beat on the route. So of course Turgeon is trying to do whatever he can to prevent the completion on the play, but nonetheless it results in a Bison first down.
And they're looking to Vidi and Morvan quite often here. They really got to step up the pass game to get back into this one. You got pretty much 2 quarters, an entire half to get back into it. 21 points though.
Janabas breaks it up the middle, keeps the legs moving, and just absolutely crowded on that play by the Eagles. That was Bissell on the play, and Jamie Tyson, the sophomore from Camden, New Jersey. 27 tackles on the year combining for that tackle. Sets up second down for the Bison. Notice how, just like Husson, Bison and Snow just really not staying under center, just love to be back in the pocket there. As takes the handoff, tries to find an open man, and no good on the play.
And they tried to get the Eagles off guard there with a little bit of play action, but the way that the Bisons have been playing offense, a lot of passing, so they were kind of expecting that one there.
The intended target was Aaron Conwell for the Bison. No dice there. Sets up 3rd and 6 at the 44.
And Sam, we know that the bread and butter of this Bison offense is passing the ball, but I would really like to see them try their best to get Jubinus involved in the passing game. I feel like that could be helpful for them.
Clark steps back in the pocket, and he's got nowhere to go. Brought down on the play by the Eagles.
And that time the Eagles able to stack the line. You had Jubinus on that far side trying to block, but there's just too much pressure. They're able to get through him. And like you said, Sam, absolutely nowhere to go. And now it's 4th and very, very long.
It was Walker Lenz, the first one there, the outside linebacker getting to him. And then DJ Wilson following it right up with a big-time play. Results in a huge loss for the Bison and forces a punt on this possession. Spalsey misses the punt, gets that one tipped. Ball falls down right at the 50-yard line. It's going to be possessed right there, right on the 50 for the Bison. And man, what a nightmarish turn of events for the Bison. First the sack by Husson, and then the tip punt, resulting in yet again very good field position for the Eagles.
And just a bad day gets worse for Nichols. It was a fumbled snap. He kind of had to try and corral that one, and by the time he got it in his hands and was able to punt it out, the Eagles defense and pass rushers or kick rushers were already there. They were able to get a hand on the ball, and now you've given the Eagles fantastic field position when they're already up 21 points.
Fosney could not get a good handle of the punt, and then when he eventually released it, it came off really awkward. As a result, not getting very much lift on that kick. As a result, here are the Eagles. Lober gets the handoff from Clark, breaks it up the field, and keeps the legs moving for a big gain. Lober and Hunter in that backfield have just been absolutely dynamic in this game, and nothing has changed since the first half.
And Lober continues to just push through people. That initial contact means nothing to him. He's able to keep his legs turning. He gets to the second level almost every time, and it has to be a linebacker or safety or corner who brings them down. That defensive line has not been able to stop them for the Bison.
The junior from Bellows Falls, Vermont, having himself a very good year. 6 touchdowns. Just a very solid acquisition for this Eagles team as he gets the ball once again, moves it upfield, and eventually wrapped up by the Bison. Seems like it was good for about 8 on the play. Brings up second down. One thing we need to talk about, Max, throughout this game is as the production of your backfield has been very solid, the offensive line has been doing a fantastic job of just opening up those holes and creating separation for the Eagles.
They've created so much space for these running backs, both of them.
As Clark hands it off to Hunter, he looks to move it upfield, and he'll get dropped on the play. That was Brendan Coppola.
And Sam, I think that some of that pre-snap motion, but also interchanging those two running backs has been what has been helped the offensive line be so successful. They're able to convince the defense of Nichols that they're going to run one way, but they've got two dynamic backs who are pretty good at going at either outside or inside, and they've just been able to open up holes and give them enough space to get maximum yardage out of them.
Casey in motion, Lober with the handoff once again. He goes out to the right-hand side, turns it upfield, keeps the legs moving, and eventually brought down near the 20, I believe that's near the 28-yard line. A swarm, excuse me, the 13-yard line. Looks like he was wrapped up by a swarm of defenders. Picks up another big gain.
It'll be 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line here, Sam. And the way that they've been running the ball, they don't even need to pass it. Play it safe, keep the ball on the ground. Lober and Hunter have both been incredible for you. Just keep giving it to them.
As Clark finds Casey once again. He's gonna get into the end zone. Hurdles a defender and gets to the end zone for a big-time touchdown for the Eagles.
And don't listen to what I said. My goodness.
Holy guacamole. guacamole, mama say, mama sa, mamakusa. Colin Casey with a big-time hurdle and a big-time score for the Eagles.
I want you to watch this. Clark just dips it out to the left side, and Casey does all the work, hurdles over the defender. Josh Allen-esque from Casey, finds his way into the end zone, and what a homecoming day for the Eagles.
Have yourself a day, Colin Casey. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Baby, what a play. That got the crowd invigorated once again. All of us here in the booth just salivating at that incredible display of athleticism for the big tight end.
My goodness, Sam.
Oh my goodness.
How often do you see that from a tight end? That's incredible.
That's touchdown number 2 for Casey on the year. And I still can't believe what I just saw. That was just absolutely mind-blowing.
He just got all 6'1", 230 of him over the defender like it was nothing. Effortless play from Casey. Holy.
As you said, you rarely see that in any of these games, let alone from a tight end of all positions. But oh my goodness. And that has to be just a big shot in the chest if you are the Bison. Just seeing Casey just on a wide open route right there, hurdling your defender on the play, and just taking the wind out of your sail.
That was Marshall Young that he jumped over, who's 5'10", 180 himself. Certainly not a huge player, but not small, 5'10". I mean, my goodness. Colin Casey's only 3 inches taller than he is, and was able to put up a vertical high enough to jump over him. That was one of the most exciting touchdowns I've seen in college football this year, Sam.
Cat-like reflexes from Colin Casey results in another score, and the Eagles extending their lead even more in this game. As the kick from Markovich very high, fielded near the 30. And he's wrapped up on the play once again. Looks like that was Walker Lenz on the play, getting involved, had some big plays, first with that sack and that last drive of the Bison. And once again, finding himself in the middle of the action here.
And now, if you're Nichols College and the Bison, you find yourself in a pretty dire situation. You're down 28, still a quarter and a half left to go, but nothing that you've been doing on offense has been able to get going, whether it's the long pass, the short pass. They've gotten some help from penalties to get down the field a little bit, but they have not been successful in the run game or pass game at all in this second half so far.
As Clark wants to do it again, this time nowhere to go! The defense right there, looks like he loses the football. The official's gonna mark it down, but that was super close once again. DJ Wilson, the first one there. The ball came loose, but the officials blew it dead.
And I thought that Clark was gonna Snow rather, was gonna get it out to his running back right there. John Abyss, it looked like he had the opportunity to pitch it to him. He was able to keep it himself and just not able to turn the corner. The defenders do a great job setting the edge right there, not allowing him to get outside.
As a result in a loss of 3 for the Bison. Snow will stay in the pocket here, looks to pass. Looking for a man, finds him on the left-hand side. Wrapped up there by Lenz once again.
Lenz and Hendrick both in on that tackle. And Lenz and Hendricks, both of them are leaders in tackles on this team. I believe Walker Lenz is 4th, and Ricky Hendricks took over for 2nd today, came in tied.
The pass completed to Victor Encarcion on the play. Picked up a big gain of 7.
We're gonna see a change at quarterback now for the Bison. Maybe a wildcat type of play.
Back in the pocket, steps up. That one complete. Right across the middle to Vidi on the play. Good enough for a Nichols first down. Looks like that was Will Michelaccio on the play, coming in real quick on the play for Clark. As the Nichols will reset, not good enough for a first down on the play, just short.
And W. Snow re-entering the game here on 4th down and 1.
As Snow looks to hand it off and nowhere to go on the play. Stuffed once again at the line. And the Eagles with a big-time stop on 4th down.
What a job by this defensive line of the Eagles today. Just doing an incredible job of stuffing the run, but also after that initial scoring drive by the Bison, other than that, they haven't even really been able to pass the ball all that well. So they've done a great job of combining pass rush and pass protection, or run rush and pass protection in this game, and have limited them to under 100 total yards.
It was 88 Toby Jakubowski coming in on the play, stopping stuff for the Bison. As Clark's gonna keep it himself, keep the legs moving. Boy, he had us all fooled in that play. Looks like Lober was going up the middle. Clark decides, nope, I'm gonna take it up and use my legs on this one, and takes up a big gain for the Eagles.
A little dangerous. We do have an injured player on the field. It's not often you see a team run their quarterback up this much in the 3rd quarter.
Looks like the player is okay. That is number 61 for the Eagles. So looking for a name here. Nonetheless, he is under his own power and doing okay. That was Tayshawn Trent on the play, taking a bit of a nasty fall, but as any football player is, as tough as they come, Trent is none the same. So we're just under 5 minutes left to play in this 3rd quarter. Lober. And is the handoff. Nowhere on that play to go. Short gain on the play. No gain on the play, sets up 2nd down. Now, Max, if you're the Bison and really nothing seems to be going your way, what are some things that you can adjust, and maybe some things you can do differently in order to kind of just calm down the firestorm of the Eagles and get yourself back into this game?
Well, look at how the Eagles approached their early offensive struggles. They were running the ball extremely well, and they weren't passing it very well. So what did they do? Kept running it a little bit more, and then eventually going into play action.
As Lober cuts it upfield, makes a defender miss, and finally wrestled down near the 17-yard line. Took about 3 defenders to bring Lober down on the play. And the Eagles are back in business.
And so it just needs to be better play management from the Bison, both offensively and defensively. They're not putting any pressure on the quarterback or these runners so far, and I think you have to attribute that to the offensive line of the Eagles a bit. But their linebackers are not getting home, their defensive ends are not getting home. All around, just not a good day for the Nichols College Bisons.
And again, you got to credit the Eagles offensive line for putting in that work. As Hunter gets the handoff from Clark. It's a short gain on the play. He was wrestled down by Barboza on the play. Puts up 2nd down. Pick up a 4 on the play. Places the ball on the 7-yard line of the Bison.
And if you're the Bisons here, Sam, if you allow the Eagles to score another touchdown, you potentially start throwing some backups in and giving some of those younger players some experience.
As Clark looks to throw again. He's got Holmes, and he gets it by the pylon, right in the corner for a touchdown for the Eagles.
Just when I think they're gonna keep running the ball, they pass it again. This time, Cam Holmes makes his 2nd touchdown catch of the day, and he's enjoying it. He's running across right in front of us right now. But look, that's a perfect pass from Clark, and then the toe tap catch from the wide receiver, number 6, Cam Holmes, who has had himself an incredible day, and the Eagles are steamrolling the Nichols College Bison.
Like you said, Max, the absolute amazing concentration to keep the feet in bounds, as Markovich once again makes it look easy on the PAT. But the ability just to adjust and contour your feet like that and just have that perfect placement on that touchdown was absolutely incredible. And again, the amazing ball thrown by Max Clark.
Max Clark, right, like you said, we've got to attribute him or give him his credit. That was an incredible throw. But Cam Holmes just does such a good job adjusting. He does a 180 in the air to catch that ball and then continues spinning to get both his feet in bounds. Remember, in college, you only have to get 1 foot in bounds, but he concentrates on getting both in to ensure that the touchdown is called a touchdown. And the Eagles are up 49-14 now.
What a big-time play there by the Eagles.
And Sam, Max Clark just broke the all-time record for passing touchdowns in a game by the Eagles. Just an incredible feat for him. He is having himself a monstrous day. And remember, we came into this game talking about how he had some struggles throwing the ball. It was 9 touchdowns for 5 interceptions. And he is changing the narrative today.
Really just goes to show that when your receivers trust you as much as they trust Max Clark, magic can happen at any given point. And we saw that the second connection there from Clark to Holmes, very similar to Holmes' first touchdown early in the game. Clark trusted that Holmes had that single coverage. He trusted him completely and allowed Holmes to work his magic. And as such, as you said, Max Clark, have yourself a day.
And Holmes is 6'3", 205, a bigger wide receiver, the tallest that they have, that the Eagles have on their roster. And it's incredibly hard for cornerbacks who are coming in at, 5'7", 5'11", 6'2" for a few of them, just guys who are a little bit shorter to really defend a guy as tall as Holmes is.
As Snow finds Vitti, cutting across the middle there, wrapped up by Ethan Turgeon once again. But going back to Cam Holmes, having himself a very, very solid game. 5 receptions for 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, having around 18 yards averaging per catch. He's having himself a very fantastic game. Along with that, Cullen Casey, 5 receptions, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. You have Berthollet with a touchdown of his own. Wilson with a touchdown. Clark has thrown 6 touchdowns in this game, piling it on to the touchdowns he's had all year. As we talked about, he's having himself a phenomenal game, as is this entire Eagles squad.
And again, he broke the record, but I think the really important thing to note here, Sam, is just how well the Eagles have been able to spread the ball. You named a whole list of guys who have scored either on the ground or through the air. Just unprecedented what they've been able to do. Usually when you talk about this team, you think of some very specific guys who are able to bring in touchdown passes or running the ball and scoring. Today, homecoming in front of this entire crowd, they show all their weapons that they have.
The depth of this Eagles team has been the name of the game. As you said, Max, so many players just getting involved in this game. As the play by Nichols there, takes him to 3rd and 2 on the 33-yard line. Just under 2 left to play here in this third quarter. It seems like after that second score, Max, the Bison have had a lot of difficulty trying to figure out the Eagles' game plan and have not been able to get any momentum going on their side. As Clark will stand back in the pocket here. See if they can change that. Hand up to Janibus up the middle. That'll be good enough for a first down. Will be wrapped up by some Eagles defenders there.
It'll be enough for the first down. Janibus kind of having a rough day out here. He came into the second half with just over 17 yards. Has not really had a lot of opportunity to get the ball down the field. The offensive line has not blocked well for him. And I feel like that's why the Bisons have felt like they have to pass the ball so much.
That's right on cue. The pass right there. He's looking for a man downfield. No good on the play. That was Kane Smith on the coverage there. He was looking for Aaron Canoe on the play. No dice there. Sets up second down.
Just thrown a little bit over his head. And the Bison kind of just grasping at anything right now. Whenever they see those one-on-one situations between a receiver and a corner, they're going to try and attack it. And now you see them switching quarterbacks here.
Yep, looks like that's Will Miglaccio. Miglaccio staying back there in the pocket as Snow takes a break. Miglaccio stays back in the pocket, has a man. That's Marvin over on the right-hand side. He's going to get taken down by a swarm of Eagles defenders. Gain of about 6 on the play, sets up third down.
And remember, that's what worked for the Bison early on, was those short passing plays where the Eagles were playing deeper in coverage. This time, just dumps it out to his left for almost no gain, but allows the wide or the tight end to go out and get the majority of those yards. Let him do the work. Let him get towards the first down marker. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Morven goes in motion. Migliaccio hands it up to Janibis. Excuse me. That was number 26 on the play for the Bison. Looks like that was Daryl McKnight. Daryl McKnight seeing some action here for Janibis, and that'll run up the clock in the 3rd quarter. And after 3 quarters, the Eagles continuing their offensive clinic as they've been able to just absolutely get wherever they want to on the field. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back for the last quarter of action here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at It's On.
Take 4, ready 3, take 3.
We've got a great show, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I need shots, guys.
Scene 4, take 4.
Back in action here for the final quarter of action here, as the Bison look to get some momentum going here, as Vidi gets absolutely bulldozed by the defense there. Nowhere to go on the play. And Max, that's just been kind of the name of the game for the Eagles, just absolutely bringing all the pressure at any given point. It's been that kind of day for the Bison where they have not been able to figure anything out.
Throughout the game, those short passes were working for the Bison. This time, the Eagles press a little bit up further with their corners and their safeties. And Vidi gets lit up before he even gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Migliaccio steps back in the pocket as Snow takes a break. He'll go deep downfield. He's looking for Morven on the play, and it's caught! What a big-time play there from Morven. An absolute dime on the ball by Migliaccio. Sets up a big play for the Bison.
And Migliaccio does a great job getting the ball to his receiver. And he comes down with it. Number 83, Morven. He's kind of been that #1 guy for the Bison so far. And that's kind of just the momentum you want heading into the end of this game. You might be out of it at this point, but you want to see what you can dial up, and that time they do a great job getting the ball to Morven, and it's 1st and goal.
A beautiful ball by Migliaccio. Look to try it again. Looking for a man, and just not a little bit too much power there. Looks like he was going for Vidi. The left-hand side, looks like that was, he had pressure on the play there. Sets up 2nd down and goal.
And Vidi right there just runs a slant across the middle. They're looking to target him in the corner of the end zone, but that zone coverage defense that the Eagles are running on that particular play kind of ate up that corner, didn't allow, he would have had to throw the ball in a way where it lands perfectly in between all of them. It's very hard to get that kind of angle on the pass that short.
Migliaccio sends out a man to his left. Couldn't hold on to the ball. Tried to finesse that one with a little bit of skill right there. That was number 21. That was, number 21 for the Bison.
Migliaccio.
So that was Victor Encarnacion right there. No good there on the play. Sets up 3rd down.
Migliaccio comes out of the game, and it'll be Snow back in. They're interchanging these two quarterbacks, and I think they put Snow back in. They want to try and give the Bisons a chance to get back into the end zone here. They might think that Snow's their best chance at doing that, get some pre-snap motion here.
And if the pass isn't there, definitely Snow could do it with his feet as he looks to throw to his left. Has it been in the end zone? No good on the play. Tried to find Vidi once again. And the coverage right there by the Eagles.
Well, it's clear who their two guys they want to go to are Morvan and Vidi. And they have been tightly defended by some of these Eagles corners and safeties, most notably Kane Smith, Tyler Armin, Clay Maloney, some of the guys that have had the responsibility today of covering those big name wide receivers for this Bison squad, and they've done an incredible job.
That was Armin trailing Vidi on the play with the beautiful coverage. And it's been that kind of game for the Eagles, Max. You know, if you're the Eagles, you can't be any more impressive how the way you're playing right now. I mean, you come onto the field, and from the very get-go, everything seemed to be clicking. The offense, the run game, the pass game, the defense, everybody's swarming to the ball. It seems like the Eagles are clicking on all cylinders, and the Bison have just not been able to withstand it.
And if you ask any of the guys on this Eagles squad, the coaching staff, they came into this game thinking they were going to have this kind of outcome. They are so confident in these guys. But from our end, I think we saw this being a way closer game than it was. Both these teams are 2-3. You and I talked about a little bit before the game how some of the stats, both passing and rushing, were nearly identical. They have had more success, or the Bisons have had more success passing the ball than the Eagles have, but regardless, the stats haven't changed all that much. Their records were the same. They faced similar competition. The Eagles just came in well more prepared than the Bisons did today, and the scoreboard shows that.
And they have had their foot on the gas pedal and have not let up at any point. As here we go, 4th and goal. Big time possession for the Bison. Clark lets it go, finds Morvan wide open in the end zone. A big time touchdown there for the Bison. Makes the wound a little less big. And they finally put 20 on the board.
And Morvan kind of wide open in the middle there. The safeties were spread apart. Not really, might have been a man-on-man situation, and Morvan was just able to beat him out in the middle, and they're gonna go for 2 here, it looks like.
It looks like the Bison want to put it to 2, just as we said, just make the wound a little less big, try to close it just a teensy bit more to make this lead just a little bit less, more nightmares to overcome.
And Sam, I mean, never say never. They score this. It's only a 21-point game, or rather a 28-point game. 13 minutes still on the clock.
So it looks like Nichols will take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. And it just seems like every time the Bison of Nichols have tried to just do something different, the Eagles have been able to pick up on it super quickly. We've seen the switch of quarterbacks between Miguelicio and Snow. Miguelicio had some very, very good balls and set up that touchdown for Morvan from Snow. And as you said, Max, never say never. I mean, crazy things have happened in the sport of football. It's what makes the game very beautiful. You see the pass right here by Morvan, just wide open in the center of the end zone. The score on the board for the Bison. But nah, never say never is definitely what you want to do, especially in football. Crazier things have happened in football. Of course, might be a completely different league, but there's always the Patriots 28-3 comeback. One of the most synonymous moments in the game of football. So really, anything is possible when you got the ball in your hands.
And speaking of having the ball in your hands, they're going to go for 2 here, Sam, but I would not be surprised to see them immediately go for the onside kick after this. 13 minutes might sound like a lot of time left in this game, but it's really not.
As Clark gets the snap, he'll look to do it himself, and he gets wrapped up in the end zone, and it's good for the 2-point completion. Clark deciding just to keep the ball himself, use the legs to churn it right in. And now it's just now the Eagles lead 49-22.
And that's a great job just finding the open space. He didn't even take off full speed right there. Snow just able to find the open space in between a few of those defenders. And he got tackled at the line, but at that point he was already in. So now it's a 27-point game. Again, we've talked about how crazier things have happened in the game of football. It's not totally out of the question for Nichols to try and make a run back at this, but they are going to need a lot of help and frankly, a lot of luck.
As we talked about, Max, we talked about it during pregame, how both these teams on paper, we're looking at all the stats and the way they match up, they were almost nearly identical in terms of how they matched up on the stat sheet. But it seems like the Eagles were just, as you said, far more prepared just to take control of the game, and they did just that. They adjusted to every single thing that Nichols has tried to do with the ball, and it's really worked out in their favor and then some.
Right, the Nichols started off by running the ball and then passing it, kind of the back and forth like that. Eagles saw that, they picked up on it, they changed their defense. Then they went all-out pass, and they dropped their running backs or their corners and safeties back a little more to play against that. So the adjustments today by the Eagles are a huge reason why they're up so much in this game. But you also got to just give credit to the personnel that's out there going out and executing those changes, executing the game plan they came in with, running a different type of style of offense than we've seen. I don't think it's, in my entire time being here, have we seen a 5 or 6 touchdown pass game from the Eagles. And we've been here 4 years. So just all credit is due to the Eagles, their coaching staff, and all these players.
And we saw how Nichols switched it up at the beginning of that fourth quarter. The Eagles not switching anything up right now. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. As Lober takes it right up the middle, carries a few defenders on his back. Gained some positive yardage there. That was A.J. Samuel, the first one there to bring him down. Sets up second down with a gain of 5.
And I think you can expect, you know what? I won't even go there because I said that earlier, that we can expect the Eagles to keep the ball on the ground, kind of just run that timeout, and then they continued to pass the ball. So we'll see what they decide to do here. So far, we had a run play that went for 5 yards, so the run's still very effective.
As Clark has not been under center all game, really favors the pocket there. As Lober breaks through, makes a few defenders miss, and finally wrapped up near the 49-yard line. A big-time gain for Lober, and that's just been the story of this game, Max. Just the running team of Lober and Hunter has just been absolutely dominant for the Eagles.
That time a handoff to the inside left, and he wasn't, we've talked about how good he is at breaking that initial contact. He wasn't even contacted until that second layer with the linebackers and the corners. So just every time you can rush for 7 yards a carry or more, you're gonna continue to use that part of your game.
As Hunter comes in for Lober now, takes the handoff, gets it right near the 42-yard line on that play, and sets up a new set of downs for the Eagles. We saw a quick switch in the game as well. We saw number 80, Aiden Taylor for the Eagles, taking the field real quick now as he just comes right off. It looks like Coach Clark is just trying to test some things out real quick before really just getting some, maybe he wants to get some insurance before putting some of the players on the sideline out in the field.
Yeah, that's always good to get some extra field position. That way you're not backed up in your own end zone or giving Nichols an opportunity to set themselves up in good field position. So we have a strong run right there, my goodness.
A very, very strong run on the play right there. That was the newly checked in for the Eagles. That was number 14. That was Aiden Sargent, the freshman out of Oceanside High School, Rockland, Maine. Getting himself some action. Having himself a very solid gain. Sargent, I remember attending the same high school as him. He was a very strong back, kind of a combination of Lober and Hunter combined. Has the elusiveness of Hunter and has kind of the bulldoze mentality and play of Lober. As he gets the ball once again, and he keeps the legs moving for another Husson first down.
You're right. He's got the ability to kind of bounce outside if he wants. He doesn't have to run up the middle every time, but he's got the strength to keep those legs churning. And 2 runs, 2 attempts, 2 first downs, Sam. Can't really go wrong with that.